Good evening.
And we were telling this one during the song, and she could not remember in time to tell you, and so we will tell you that she had forgotten to tell you that you are the ones who send the love in this direction to raise the energy. But we wish to tell you the good news is that the energy is already quite high. But it is good practice always for you to learn that you turn up the light within you merely through your intention. So do practice this now. Go with your awareness as you did just a moment ago. Take it to the heart, which is the bridge between you and all others, whether those others are in a physical body or in the spirit world. And by merely knowing you are that love light, that love well from which springs all love, you turn up the love and radiate it outwards. In this case, you can radiate it at this one in the chair. But know that as you radiate your light, it goes out from the heart area in all directions around you in a spherical shape and goes out infinitely with no limits. You are that powerful. Now, this is our teaching for this evening. When we speak of you, it is up to you to determine which you we are addressing. Some of you may be a bit confused by this. Others already know the true yous of whom we speak. We hope to make it abundantly clear to you this evening so that you leave with a bit to chew on, to think about. Normally, when two humans converse and you say you and you back and forth, you are speaking to the human side of you, that which we will refer to this evening as the story. All of you are playing roles. You are enacting stories, and that is not a negative thing. That is how Spirit, Source, God expresses through you. How else could the Source, the light, express itself but through a story? And in the case of the human being, it has a beginning and a middle and an end as far as the physical body. But you are far more than a physical body. This many of you know, and some of you are coming to know. That is the good news. And there is no bad news, so do not be worried. You, the human, lives that story. Many of you are prisoners to that story. And yes, we have asked this one this evening to do something a bit different, and that was to ask you to bring to mind an issue with which you are dealing. All of you have it there now in the conscious mind. We wish you to know that that is part of your story. And the story is quite real as long as you are living it out, as you are enacting it, and we wish you to give credence to it, to pay attention to it, for it has lessons and gifts to afford you. It is a gift, this issue, although you may not see it that way, because when we asked you to bring to mind an issue, we can guarantee you that 99% of you brought a challenge to mind and not something that you are celebrating. And all human beings have challenges, for you learn by trial and error. You learn in this way. And so, the human has issues in acting a story, and until you come to know that there are two aspects of you, the story you and the greater I am, that is eternal, that is changeless, that is the same in all of you, you will remain a prisoner to your story, shackled, as it were, to that which is merely a mental construct. We do not wish to confuse you now. We have told you that your life and your story is very real, and that it is, for you are living it out. But are your dreams not real as well at night until you awaken and you say, that was just a dream? We are not saying your life here is a dream. It is quite real. Your challenges, your issues are quite real. But we are saying you will awaken from this life to another reality. And that which never changes from reality to reality is the absolute aspect of you, which is pure awareness. What do we mean by this? When you came into this life, a beautiful soul, into human form as a baby, you had the smallest glimmer of awareness that you exist. You knew this at a heart level, at a soul level. It is innately known by the human, no matter the age. As you grew, no matter the age, 2, 12, 22, 32, how high must we go with this group? That which never changes, that awareness, I exist, I am, has never changed. Who are you without your name? If we could not refer to you by name, those of us in the spirit world would recognize you by the light you are radiating. And yes, you do turn up that light. That light is part and parcel with the absolute essence of you. That light never goes out. To say, I am the light, is truth with a capital T. Without the name, you remain the light. Now we ask you, who are you without the labels that you agree to? I am a teacher, I am a doctor, I am a lawyer, I am a trash collector, I am whatever you fill the blank in with. If you were to set that label aside, who are you? What remains? Why then, I am a woman, I am a man, I am a person in a body. And what is that but a conglomeration of feelings, emotions, images, sensations, and thoughts? All of these are experiences. Do these make up a person? To the person, yes, they do. All of these are temporary. All of them come and go. Your feelings, images, thoughts, and sensations. If you think of this deeply, it is truth. What happens when you no longer have feelings? What happens when you cease thinking for just a few moments? What is there in the space between the thoughts, between the images, between the feelings? Pure awareness. And it is the only thing, if you were to compare experiences with those humans sitting beside you, it is the only thing that you all have in common. It is the exact same. We shall say experience, but that lack of experience is what we are pointing you towards. That pure awareness that never leaves, never changes, never goes away. You can give it various names. I am that. Pure awareness, consciousness, true nature. The soul knows that pure awareness is you at the core. Can you understand that that which never changes has no issues, has no needs, no desires, no attachments, and thus no suffering? knows only connection with the I am in each of its projections. The disco ball analogy is quite fitting. There is one light that never goes out, and it is projecting outward through 7.5 billion mental constructs for the sheer urge to express itself. Do you understand that? You are the result of the light wishing to express itself, which is love. For when there are no issues, when there are no challenges, when there are no thoughts, what remains? Love. And this is the meaning of unconditional love. You might say it another way, unconditioned love. Conditioned not by thoughts, feelings, imagery, sensations. That is within you. That timeless, spaceless state of pure being that knows I am. But the human is so used to processing thoughts, images, sensations. You become fascinated by your thoughts, by your story. You become drawn to it, drawn into it, just as you do when you go to your cinema or you watch your large screen televisions, absorbed in the story to such a point that all else around you ceases to exist. And for a bit, you forget your story. So engrossed are you in this, which takes your mind off of your challenges. But when that story ends on the screen, if you're not careful, there is a moment when the pure I am is there, and you are aware of it, but suddenly the mental construct that is your story says, oh, I cannot let myself remember I am that, for then I would have no need for a story. And the thoughts come crowding back in, and the desire to eat and to drink and to be active and to do, for that feeling of pure being is so foreign to that one who is so absorbed in the story of me with a small m. Can you allow yourself to feel that you are so much more than the story? Do you understand from the stories this one shared with you this evening that your story here in physical form will come to an end? You know this, but it does not end there. The story continues after death. Why? For there are lessons to be learned from that story, continuing on without a body, interacting here with those in physical form. The magic of it. Lessons from the pain and the happiness. The story continues. But this is our main message this evening. You are both the story and the light. You have always been the light. You cannot not be the light. This is the key. There is not the light and the story. It is the light enacting a story. There is no separation. You need not seek the light. You are the light. You, the human being, are not aware. Hear us well. You, the human being, do not have awareness. The ego says, what is she saying? This Sanaya. You, the human being, are a story. The light is aware. The light is awareness. You are awareness, enacting a story, and that is what is meant by oneness. When you come to understand there is no separation between the light and the story, then you can relax and allow the light to express itself through you, no longer having to do anything. You have helpers in the unseen realm. It is true you have spirit guides. They would not be your guides had they not learned the lesson. All aspects of consciousness are that light. Your guides have agreed to allow only the light to guide them. Therefore, they are intermediaries of the light, the awareness, to allow the awareness, that is you enacting a story, to play out in a greater way through your story. We hope we are not losing you at this point. Some of you will hear this with new understanding. Others may need to watch the video a time or two. You do not have awareness. Awareness is what you are. And that is awareness with a capital I. We are quite limited by the language. Awareness is I am. It is that knowing I exist. It is powerful beyond measure. And it is your essence, your true nature. Now, bring that issue to the conscious mind at this moment. What do you feel as you think about that issue? These feelings in the body, these emotions, these sensations are temporary. That indicates they are part of the story. Who are you? The light reflecting through you. You are not a story, you are the light. Think of your issue. What thoughts come to mind? I cannot bear this any longer. I cannot stand this. I do not know what to do about this issue. Can you see that even that unknowing is temporary? The whole issue is temporary. Does this mean it is not real? Not at all. It simply shows you it is an aspect of what is called the separate self. When you see your issues through the lens, through the point of view of the separate self, you can very easily feel helpless. You have another point of view available to you at all times, and that is the point of view of I awareness. I awareness simply am. I awareness. Truly, I awareness does not think, and so as a concession to the human mind, we are showing you if awareness were to think, it would go a bit like this. I awareness, simply remain open and observe the story as it is unfolding. I awareness am unaffected by this story. I can see how it fits in with all of the other stories enacted here. If I, awareness, merely observe these feelings, emotions, thoughts, and sensations, I see them for what they are, clouds passing through the sky, temporary. With greater clarity, I see that by not resisting them, they dissolve. Does this mean your challenges go away? Not necessarily, but the dissonant energies associated with them do dissolve. We wish you to play with these ideas, to practice facing from I-awareness point of view emotions that well up from the story. You choose the point of view. Do I continue to see myself and identify with myself as the story, which will remain until you take your last breath in physical form and then on as a soul? Do I identify with the story, or do I identify and know myself ultimately and absolutely to be the light of awareness? And this is where troubles arise, when the story takes on a life of its own, and you are so fascinated by objects and lose sight of the light within you, you have taken on an outward focus. We are asking you this evening to turn back and burrow under the layers of stories and labels and identifications and names and memories and experiences until nothing remains. And that spark of the divine turns up a bit brighter in the recognition that I, awareness, have always been. And I, awareness, have no challenges. And I, awareness, am love, for there is no resistance. And in that awareness, having gone out and having turned back and having remembered, turn back out and resume the role with a whole new awareness and a whole new viewpoint of life, taking with I awareness the peace that is our birthright. 7.5 billion lenses through which the light glows, self-luminous, shining, and all 7.5 billion viewpoints, were they to turn back, would all point to the same light. That is oneness. We bid you good night.
Good night. Thank you.